Kieran McGovey here, Boxing Bants, and I'm here joined with a debutant on the channel. It's Coach Jenny ONeill. Jenny, how are you?
Yeah, very good, Kieran. Thank you very much for coming down.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Jenny, people who don't know you in the sport, whoever don't know you, would you want to just tell us a little bit who you are and where you're from?
Yeah, so I'm coaching out of Naas in Kildare, a gym called Unit 3. So we do normal classes, but I'm working alongside Niall Barrett. So he obviously has pro boxers, Katelynn and Gary. So I'm getting to kind of assist him alongside those two boxers, and then obviously come up to Dublin and help with the team here.
So, boxing, how did you get into it? Like, have you boxed yourself from a young age?
I started with kickboxing, so I did K1. That was probably about 4 years ago, and then just through that I kind of learned how to hold pads. Just as the style of kickboxing, the way the classes run, we hold pads and then everyone swaps over, and then you do the training yourself. So from that I learned how to hold pads, and then the coach started doing boxing classes, and from there I kind of always gravitated more towards boxing than the actual kickboxing. Sometimes like he'd have boxing classes on before the kickboxing, and I'd end up having to do like the two classes just so I could do the boxing and then hop into the kickboxing at the end. But yeah, I just really loved the sport when I started, and it's just kind of gone up from there.
So it was like through classes, or did you like compete or anything like that, or just?
I've done a white collar, and I've done a kickboxing match, just one, and that's kind of my fighting career. So now I'm just going into the coaching aspect of it. Yeah. That's
crazy how you got into it through that way, like, and you just kind of took to pad work in that way. And was it difficult? Because obviously people always tell me when they're in like MMA, let's say, they're doing pad work and boxing, there's so much more to boxing. Was there a lot for you to learn?
Yes, so much more to learn. Not to disrespect K1, but I think it's kind of quite basic. There's no feinting. The footwork is kind of just moving back and forward or left to right. It's not slip shifting around, pivoting. I think there's a lot more to boxing, maybe just because you have a lot more just your hands to focus on. You don't have knees and legs, so it's like you don't have all those aspects, but you can transfer it over. Like all the tricks I've learned in boxing, you can definitely transfer them over to other sports too. I think it's just they just don't know about it. But yeah, it's much more of a brain game, I think. Boxing is, for sure.
So were you just learning as you're going along in terms of different punches, combinations, things like that, feet and all that? Were you just kind of getting taught as you were going along, or were you just kind of just taking to it yourself?
No, we would be, so say if the class, the coach would give us a combination to do, and everyone would just do that combination on the pads. But now, like with the boxing pad work, it's just, you just work off yourself. Obviously I look at other coaches, see what they're doing, and then you just have to apply that to the boxer, especially like strengths and weaknesses too, trying to see, are they more of a mover in and out, or are they more of a standstill boxer? You obviously want to have a full kind of, you want to have a bit of everything, but it's good to work on weaknesses and strengths too. Yeah.
Was it daunting for you holding pads the first time with pros like Gary and that?
Yeah, I was a bit nervous. Niall's really funny, like in the gym he doesn't give you much of an option. He's just like, just go hold pads for Katelynn. And I was like, okay, right. But he kind of just throws you in the deep end, but I think that's the best way to do it. Otherwise I think I'd never be ready. I'd just be like, oh, I needed more time. But if you just do it, like, that's the best way to learn, isn't it? Yeah.
Did you think the first time you were doing it, were you having this kind of like imposter syndrome, where you're thinking like this person thinks I'm an idiot, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Especially just because I haven't fought really, and then being quite new to the sport too. I'm only about 4 or 5 years in the sport, and they've all had these massive pro careers. It's definitely a bit daunting, and imposter syndrome for sure. But now I feel like I'm settling in a bit more and getting to know all the lads, and definitely more comfortable with it for sure.
Do you think? Do you kind of have to stop and think this is just crazy? Like, you're watching some of the top pros in the country here sparring in Pete Taylor's gym. I know he's not here right now, but you've been used to him being here and all the pros here, and you're taking pads with them in between, and you know this is kind of like what you're doing now. This is your life. Was that ever something that you thought you would be doing?
I definitely would have thought about it and hoped to do it. I think it's hard to get in, especially because I'm new to it. Like Niall has helped me so much, just bringing me along and kind of guiding me the right way to do it. But I forget about it honestly, and then I go home. My friends are like, they see videos I'm putting up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm trying to explain to them, and a lot of them don't box or anything, so they're just like, it's a whole other world to them. But it's a really good experience, even just watching sparring and seeing all the lads perform as well. It's great. Yeah.
Have you kind of formed over the last year or so your own now kind of what's the word for it? Your own vision of what you want to do now as a coach? Like, do you have ambition now to kind of take someone up yourself and full time as a boxer? I know you're PT as well, but as a boxing coach, is that something you really want to get into now?
Yeah, that's definitely the road I want to go down. Get a few boxes myself and be able to just see them progress and help them progress in their own careers. That would be really, really good. At the moment, I do have one MMA fighter, but I'm doing kind of strength and conditioning and just a few little boxing sessions with him. But I hope to have like fighters myself as well eventually. I know it'll take time, but just that's kind of the road I want to go down. Yeah.
You were in the corner with Katelynn when she had that great night against Jessica Shadko. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, it was really good. I got kicked out.
What?
Yeah, I got kicked out of the corner. So it's not as bad as it seems. Just you're only allowed to have 3 cornermen, but we had 4, and then the ref kind of spotted me, so he was like, "You have to get out of here." But that was my debut into a corner, getting kicked out. But we were to laugh about that whole trip. It was just so fun. There were so many different obstacles that happened. Nothing kind of went to plan, so we were like, that was just another obstacle that happened. But like, we laugh about it now. It was quite funny. I don't think Katelynn even knew. She was like, "I hear you got kicked out with the corner." What happened? But yeah, that was a really good experience as well, just to be standing there. So she had Niall and Paddy as well, so just listening to them and giving the instructions in the corner, it's just all experience that I'm going to take with me.
Yeah. And you got a front row seat for it, which, you know, during a pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's rare to come by at the moment. There's no crowds or anything, so yeah, definitely. But hopefully, crowds will be back soon.
That camp must have taught you a lot, though, in terms of, you know, the politics to build up, the tactics that were involved, the tactics that were implemented in it. That must have been a massive learning curve for you from start to finish of a successful win against, you know, essentially Katelynn went over as an opponent, expected to lose. Not expected to lose, but the Germans were expecting her to lose. But we all thought she could definitely win. But you've seen from start to finish the whole camp. Was that a massive learning curve for you?
Yeah, really massive. That fight, especially going in as the underdog, as the opponent, as you said, like going into that gym environment. But at least with that fight, it was confirmed there wasn't loads of change of opponents. Like, that was the girl you're fighting, so you can definitely come up with a good game plan. And he's the best. Niall's the best for trying to make up, you know, using strengths and weaknesses again, seeing what their weaknesses are, and just using that as a tactic to win the fight as well. But I definitely got more experience with Katelynn on her last fight in Luxembourg, just being a training partner as well with her. And that was really good as well. Yeah.
Well, Jenny, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. It was very insightful, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in another corner soon, and hopefully eventually I'll see you in a corner just as the main coach. That would be nice. Yeah,
100%, Kieran. That's the path that's happening at the moment, so fingers crossed, keep going.
All right. Thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.